Let me turn them on.
I mean, me personally, I don't think it's yucky. In fact, I think it's actually necessary because now we're just going to have like, okay, to be fair, the concept of masculinity and like sociological, you know, like every topic revolving around masculinity is rooted in politics, like misogyny, like homophobia, all the things that like arbitrarily assigning certain traits to masculinity or femininity being rooted in like the fucking white male hegemony of the first world. Like it is all inherently political. So I think it's a very good and simple visual indicator that they are doing this, because then we can easily, like, for people who identify as, left or right leaning, we'll probably easily be able to pick up on some patterns, which I imagine is kind of the point here. Because again, all these topics about like men and masculinity as a subject are inherently very political.
No, I feel you. Here, let's fire this shit up. Because this shit is an hour and a half.
I've literally heard women say, I hate men.
Of course,
literally.
Absolutely. And
Death to the patriarchy.
A lot of these ideas of what you think misandry is are just your misogynistic instincts and assumptions being exposed.
Yeah, so now you're assuming that I'm misogynistic
I'm not
because
assuming.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not assuming. That was not an assumption. I gave you a very clear
rhetorical path.
Right? Really? Yeah. Really, I hate men. That's literally the definition.
Do you think he's misogynistic?
Yeah, probably. I think we all are a little bit, some more than others.
Valid, real?
Yeah.
All right, it's 2025.
No, very
Trump
real.
is president, and we're back with another Middle Ground XL. Behind me, I have 25 traditional men and 25 progressive men. We're gonna ask them some questions, and we're gonna see if they can
Why are
find
they
the
all
middle ground.
twinks?
Our
Where are
first question is: should it be socially acceptable for men to wear skirts?
Trad
Come
men.
forward and find your.
I don't know. I always find trad men so weird because it's like, what's the end goal? But
Also, don't like
To
is it
control
Scottish
people.
or Irish people that wear skirts.
Kill.
For, like,
They both wear kilts.
yeah, so they
I think
both
a
wear
couple of other
kilts.
nationalities do too sometimes, but particularly those two, they wear kilts.
Yeah, sorry, but that's not skirts. Yeah, it's kilts. Yeah.
Well, functionally, like, it is the same. Let's be honest with ourselves.
I mean,
Because
Because
kilts
most
are,
of the
like,
time, men who
kilts are
wear
thick.
kilts and men who wear kilts are wearing just like their undies underneath,
Yeah,
nothing
True.
else.
the
Like,
kilts are
throw on a
thicker and
battle
like
kilt.
longer.
Throw on a battle kilt, make that shit look tough, like look like a monster hunter. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this question though, because I'm gonna shoot from the hip and I'm gonna just say it. I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with a dude wearing a skirt. Like, I think clothing is clothing, and as long as it
Yeah.
looks good, it looks good. That
Yeah.
being said, I do feel like in most instances that I have seen someone that identifies as a man wearing a skirt, it is for attention. I just want to clarify.
No.
I've
I
seen
actually
it.
no. You're right. Because like, especially I've noticed this. Like the social like internet dynamic had a major paradigm shift when when the pandemic hit, and when everyone became shut in and nerdy and lost their fucking college relationships. I noticed a lot of people became a lot more desperate for online validation. That's why we have so much more rage baiting, engagement baiting, and like what you're talking about, like the manipulative pick me male that like pretends to be breaking gender stereotypes because they're a little skinny and confident in themselves, and therefore they think that they can like paint their nails and wear a skirt for a video or two without shattering their social image just to like get girls to thirst over them and their veiny hands. No, like this is a real archetype of men. I know what you're talking about. And it's like very creepy and very predatory. And again, like that's a form of misogyny, because these men, like, because they know that they're on the internet, because they know that they can like use personas and that this won't affect them in real life, they just like want to sit down in bed and like look up at the ceiling and have that validation of like knowing that like girls on the internet, like e-girls, are pining and thirsting over them for being so brave and like saying fuck gender stereotypes and trying to be like a girl's man, you know?
Valid. I mean, I'm definitely an attention whore, but I think
That's
like,
not to
we
say
just
that
gotta-
all
we gotta
men
call
are like that, though.
a spade sometimes, you know?
Is it
No, I
really
agree.
wrong to want attention if you're not hurting anyone. You know?
No, I agree. I just think
I
like
agree that some of them do hurt people.
I think
by,
there's a
like,
degree of manipulation to it.
I'm saying that, but like if you're not like if you're doing it for you, it's okay. But then it's like if the
Yeah.
attention is becoming too much and you're starting to like
Hey.
cause some girls to obsess over you a little too much, then you're doing something wrong.
I think doing it for attention is fine too. I think you should just like be honest with yourself.
Because like a lot,
I see you. I respect the hustle, but like I know what
a lot
time
of
it
people
is.
do look pretty just to get attention. So should everyone be blamed for that?
No, I don't think everyone should be blamed for it. I guess I'm just talking about a very specific subset of people who like
Right,
clearly are not being true to themselves and just like especially in a post-pandemic world are like trying to get online internet validation, especially like in the rise of things like like scamming people and God forbid grooming on the internet and like on Discord servers and stuff. I don't know, like it's very like case by case basis, and obviously I'm cherry picking here, but I'm the main people I'm talking about are the people who like
You know what?
you could
We're
tell they're
all
not being
wrong
true to
here.
themselves. They're just like they're doing
Harry
it for the fashion,
Styles.
not the passion. Yeah,
No,
like
we're
queer
all
baiters.
wrong here.
Like,
We're all
Wow, go
wrong
ahead.
here. We should all be aura farming. We should all just be solo.
we should be
leveling.
aura farming.
Fact.
We should all just be
That's why
all
I'm a
over
Dragon
aura.
Ball fan.
Fact.
But yeah, no, I'm talking about like queer baiters and stuff and people that
See,
like
there's
will like
a-
manipulate and like lie to just try to cultivate a fan base explicitly of people who like thirst after them. Like they want, like they crave the sex appeal, so like they want to be able to like manipulate and interact with these like most of the time like young and emotionally vulnerable fan bases.
There's such a weird devil's advocate with that because then there's some men who know they are and they don't care. There's they like it, and there's
Yeah,
some
no, if
men
those people are doing it for the passion and not for the fashion, that's
Right.
fine. I don't care.
Well, no, I'm just talking about men who know they're being queer baited. And they're like, yeah, I know, I don't care. It's just it's nice. I like looking at it. And then there's men who are just like giving up all their fucking worldly possessions, and it's like almost a mental illness. It's a little crazy. There's women who do this too, but it's really
Well,
crazy
yeah.
in the male queer community.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But then there's like the stupid pay piggies and shit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
I queer bait for the love of the game, not for no money.
Hey,
I don't have that blue check mark on Twitter. I don't be getting a check. I do it for the fun.
Oh God.
I gotta make the bread somehow.
Oh wait. Alright. But I'm gonna try to get through this with as little pausing as possible. I just wanted to I felt like this might be probably like the most contentious question, so I was like, I don't know. We'll see.
Why do I see so much Hassan?
I mean, do you know what the other questions are?
Why do you see so much Hassan? Oh, you weren't there when I said Hassan is like the person I watch the most. Hang on. Can you see this?
Oh, that's a little scary right
You
there.
want to see something really gross?
Why are we watching Hassan like this? He's turned into some kind of like political being out of nowhere.
What do you mean? Hassan's been doing this for a long time. Isn't
No,
that like
okay. He's like
about
cranked
me.
up to like 20 recently.
No, Hassan.
I thought that was the whole point. Isn't he like okay, not to call him a nepo babe,
Yes,
but
he's
is it
nepo
the
babe.
whole like foundation of his like internet persona the fact that his dad owns like an extremely progressive news outlet?
No,
I've never known this. No.
He was on the TYT. Yeah, he's a nepo baby. James
Yeah.
is his uncle. Yeah.
He's always been like for as long as I can remember, not that I've
What was that
known
sound?
about him for so long, but for as long as I can remember, he's always been like an alt left type motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
one of the few left side grifters on Twitch, mind you, which me personally, like I don't watch him and I'm not his biggest fan. I respect that at least.
There's nothing wrong with being on either side. It's just something wrong whenever you're tilted too far on one side.
Sucking dudes said, "What the hell is alt left? Fire ass account name. Fuck yeah."
Said fucking dudes.
Sucking dudes.
Oh, my fault. Very different ball
my
game.
That goes
you
hard.
mean?
What is alt left? I think alt left is just like the proper terminology for like left extremism. I don't know.
Yeah, like neoliberalism is what I'd call it. Actually, not even liberalism, because leftism and neoliberalism are like delineated at this point.
Look, me and Nick had a very long discussion about this Saturday, but we'll rehash it later. Now is not the time. For now, let's cringe.
Fair.
Also, I do want to point out. Never mind.
Well, are you going to say that they have a lot of people of color in the red shirts on purpose?
I wasn't gonna say on purpose.
Oh no,
No,
they
no.
definitely do. There's
No,
only
that's
like
on purpose.
one black guy on the right side.
Yeah, no, that's on purpose because they want to be like, look, dude, look
Yeah,
how many of
well,
these guys
there
are conservative.
definitely-
Oh,
there are
look, yeah,
definitely-
as if like fucking Trump wouldn't have all those guys shot dead in an instant.
To be honest, there are
For
a
no
lot
reason.
of colored people on that side for all the different reasons. It's weird. It's complex and weird.
I mean, that's a whole different ballgame we can get into later. For now, I don't want to detract from the video.
Sucking dudes,
anymore.
I do want to clarify. He said people of color. Yo, chill.
Is that one guy in a wheelchair? Crazy.
What?
Good
The
for
guy
him.
in the far left.
Oh.
Man, they really are trying to give like the left side the most like sympathy.
Okay.
Your speaker
Like,
for this issue.
Look at everyone on the right side. They're all just like.
Me personally,
Not all of
I
them,
like
most
fashion,
of them, though.
I tried to dress nice today. You did dress nice today. Thank you.
Okay, man.
I'm wearing a woman's sweater right now. This is from Brandy Melville. But
Does that matter?
background, in my culture, like I'm Native Hawaiian.
I think bro's
men
just saying
have
that.
traditionally worn skirts. We go back to other cultures, Japan, long gowns. Traditionally, men have been seen in history to be wearing the same clothes that women do now, and America is a much younger society than any of these cultures that have dated back thousands and thousands
This
of
is
years.
true.
First, I'd like everyone to take a second and take a look at the fellas and what they're wearing over there. Let's be so real right now. How are they going to argue about what fashion? Yeah, about
They
what fashion
both
is
look
supposed
like
to
they're
be
wearing the
in a
same thing
manly
on both sides. What do you mean?
He's
They
opening have all those guys
Twitch.
shot dead in an instant.
To be honest, there are
For
a
no
lot
reason.
of colored people on that side. They are both
for
wearing the
all-
same thing.
You're talking about Aaron. Aaron is black. He can say colored people.
Or traditional
Oh yeah,
sense.
no, I'm black.
And in India, they wear dhotis. They're not wearing skirts
Yeah.
because they think they're a woman. Here in America, that's the reason that they're wearing skirts is because they are trying to project that they are a female or the opposite sex or gender fluidity or any of that, and it's just nonsense. No,
Again, it
absolutely
depends.
not.
It depends on your intention. It depends on your culture. If your intention is to be feminine, right? Obviously, it's not right.
What is the proper term?
What do you mean it's not right if you're trying to like?
When it comes to just
See, this is the shit that pisses me off. Motherfuckers be like, oh, it's not right if you're trying to be feminine. Like, so what?
Any sign
Like,
of like wearing
the
a
fact that
skirt
it
or
is
something like
feminine
that,
is
like,
a
obviously,
made
bro,
up
like,
trait. That is a
that's-
like a colloquial trait, not an objective one.
Hang on. What do you mean my
That's just
audio's
a
messed up?
regular thing that people say. It's not even a who can say it thing. Anyone could say colored people.
Anyone can, but I do think like it's
I mean, I
It's
usually
like
try
a
to be on my
little
P's
bit-
and Q's about saying like not weird and sus terms.
it's
Say-
Like obviously there's plenty of things I'm not gonna say because they're explicitly racist.
I do think there's like a little bit of like
What do you
short-
say then?
Hang on,
You haven't
hang on,
answered
hang
me.
on,
What do you
hang
say?
on, hang on, let me cook. I do think it's like it can be jarring if you're not used to that, but I think like living in the South, we're kind of used to that. I think people of color is like more socially acceptable, but I'd rather you just say like black people personally.
Oh,
If you're
no,
not-
no,
if you're
I said
not
colored-
black.
No,
well, I
said
was
colored-
saying
No.
I was
said colored
saying
people in
people of color
general.
because not all of them are explicitly black or African
Yeah,
American.
that's not. No, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying black either. It's just I'm saying colored people as in general.
No, I know,
Yeah.
I know, but you know, sucking dudes is here.
Non-white
to suck
ethnicities.
dudes.
That's
And
not
I'm
the move.
This is kind of
I'm not
representative
opposed to
of
getting
a
sucked.
general idea of what a man is supposed to
I'm
be
just not trying to
in
get
terms
drained,
of
you feel
how
me?
we dress, how we conduct ourselves in
It's
public. I think
antiquated.
most men look
That's
at what
valid.
a man is supposed to dress like, and look at that and
But I also
see,
think, like,
well,
that's
now I
just,
have to
like,
justify
Southern
the difference between that and me.
Clothing is not gendered. We make
I've
it
never
gendered.
heard
Anything that we're wearing could be.
Oh my God!
woman,
Spit,
whatever.
spit, Daniel.
Titles on things, and I have,
We
I have
make it
done
gendered.
nobody
We
really have any
arbitrarily
argument against
assign
any
these
one of us.
traits.
The progressive men are going to say it doesn't matter what you wear. You can wear any dress, you can wear a skirt, you
Hang
can
on,
wear
I'm gonna
this.
wait- I'm gonna
In the
wait till
same
they're
vein, they
all
would say
done,
it doesn't matter what
and then I'm
language
gonna
you speak.
cook.
It doesn't matter what religion you speak.
I'm gonna
And
cook-
as
I'm gonna
traditional men,
scorch
we
earth
disagree
both
with that.
sides
We
of the
want to
aisle.
have a
Watch
cohesive society that
I'm
we
sure
speak
you
similar
are.
things, we believe similar things, we have a sense of community in all of the
You think
things that we
people of
wear.
color is a
What they're
racist-
saying
Wait. You think people of color is a racist term, but no one wants to hear that. I am a person of color, and I'm telling you, like, if you were talking about a group of people of different ethnicities, like, people of color is the proper terminology. Like, it's not racist. That's facts. We're not white. Like, what do you mean? You think it is? Wait, what is your ethnicity? You think it is, that's why it's racist. It's not racist.
That's not how that works.
That's not racist. If you were like those N-words over there, then like, yeah, that would be racist. But I feel like you're assuming that it's like othering when it's not. It's just like pointing out a distinction. But like I said, you can drop your ethnicity in chat.
is actually the anti-social stance where
'Cause I'm ready to
everybody does
cook.
what they want and nobody has a sense of community. So we need to
Having a
hit on
group
that.
of-
Whoever speaks
Having one name for non-white people is racist. Brother, that's that's insane. So, if we're talking about India and I say Indians, is that racist? Like, what are we talking about right now? Should I go through the group and say, yeah, this Asian guy and this black girl and this Vietnamese guy and this, like, no, that's not how normal people speak.
not just
dog.
about the skirt, because the skirt it's the detail, and that's unimportant.
We are rooted in some kind of greater faith that defines masculinity, the man as a role. He is under God, he is serving his family, and he is the creator of his society and the perpetuator of said values.
Yo, it's simple,
She
bros.
said that with less saliva
Skirts
in
are
his
for women. We should also talk about what does it look like if it's not socially acceptable. What does
It detracts from individual groups and puts non-white people into one block like it's a monolithic group. But it doesn't. It doesn't, because in most instances you are talking about a diverse group of individuals rather than pointing them out one by one. It's still, if anything, it still holds white people as a monolith. What are you talking about? Which, like, yeah, you could make your argument that it's racist because it still holds white people as a monolith, but it's not. You're taking it as, like, othering when it is just a distinction.
What does that mean? Point out how in practice, if it's not socially acceptable, that means we're shaming people, we're bullying people, we're excluding people, and I don't think anyone agrees that's a good thing.
Who wants to speak? Okay.
I think arguing this guy is going to be lost cause. Let's just continue.
I will. Okay, all in favor? Juma?
Everyone for Riley. Who votes for Riley? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's already a majority.
One and done.
One and done. It is Riley.
All right, both sides have chosen their speakers, so let's bring
Wait,
forward
you
Juma
still have not dropped your ethnicity,
and Riley.
dog? Because you know what I'm going to say if you say what I think you're going to say.
At any point, it doesn't matter what
Okay,
ethnicity drops.
now
They
we got to
drop.
really cook. We will watch this despite my desire to skip it just because let's pan back like 5 seconds.
Who wants to speak? Okay, then I feel comfortable.
I went too far back.
Well, who wants to? I mean, I will. Okay, all in favor?
I don't want to hear what any of these fucking people have
Everyone
to say.
for Riley.
For
Who
the
votes for
simple
Riley?
fact of
1,
you
2,
have 50
3,
people in a
4,
room
5, 6,
and not an ounce of
7,
drink.
8, 9. I think that's already a majority.
One and done.
You don't have,
It is
you don't
Riley.
have a
All right, both
shred of
sides have
drip,
chosen
bro.
their
I don't want to hear about what you think about fashion. Like any of you. Like, I don't want to hear what any of you have to say about fashion.
Yeah, what does fashion have to do with either side?
I mean, to be fair, there's a non-0% chance that
Here,
these
so let's
guys
bring
like
forward
were
Juma
forced to pick
and
out of like a
Riley.
costume department or something, so that they explicitly had to like wear
It shouldn't- it
reds, blues,
shouldn't-
and grays.
It shouldn't change or affirm what you have to say speaking about your ethnicity, but it absolutely does, because you're trying to tell two black people, like, the proper terminology to speak about black people, which is why I'm asking. And you know that's why I'm asking. Because you know when you say that you're white, I'm going to tell you that we don't fucking care. So, there's that. Like, I don't get it. Bro. I don't get it.
Should it be socially acceptable for men to wear skirts? You've got 8 minutes to find a middle ground between the two of you. Go for it.
Well, I believe that men can wear whatever they want, and pertaining to skirts, particularly, I am a native Hawaiian person. Traditionally in a culture that goes further back than America itself, men wear skirts. Japan, men wear long gowns. You know, kilts.
Skirt though, specifically.
I know, but again, it's just different cultural norms.
I wear a thobe sometimes.
Yes, but it's
like
cultural
some cats
norms.
In the military, I've roomed with guys in the military, and they say like I had to shoot the dude in the dress. So it's like, nah, like, do I take it personal? No. That's just according to that group of people, that's what they call it. Right? Like, I wouldn't call a kilt a skirt.
Okay.
No, that's a cultural symbol. What a skirt means in today's society is different. But go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
I mean, yeah, like I was saying, traditionally, cultures that go further back, where clothing only has the meaning.
Sucking dudes, I'm sorry. Let me back up. You didn't know? That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, moving forward, probably not a good idea to tell black people like what they can and cannot say. My mix is a mess.
Meaning that we set to it.
I'm trying to hear my homies over the video.
If I someday decide that your skinnier pants are feminine because I got baggier pants, right? Then I can do I get to ridicule you for that? Do I get to outcast you for that? That's just my question. Again, going back.
So
why is it not socially acceptable?
What it represents is that's femininity, yo. Like there's no question about it. Like if you're a dude walking around in a black leather skirt, like you're saying a lot. Like Jaden Smith is one of them cats that was on Vogue. Like nah, like we've seen what a skirt represents as a man. At least in North American culture and even some Asian cultures. Like I've been to South Korea. There are a lot of hyper feminine men out there. The only thing that I didn't see in South Korea was cats putting on makeup in the mirror. But for some reason, whenever I would go outside, I see hella cats wearing makeups, foundation, eyeliner, all that stuff.
So femininity is negative? And for men to express but is it okay to express feminine things?
Nah, I got a
wife.
wife.
My nail polish. What do you think about my
like
skinny watch?
Me personally, bro, I ain't rocking like that.
That's cool. That's great. But I am. So is there anything wrong with that?
That's a feminine trait that maybe you want to exude about yourself.
Okay.
Now, like, if we walk down the street, like, I may interact with you a little bit differently just because, like, I see the fact that you're wearing nail polish.
What does that mean? Like,
well,
would you...
generally, bro, like, whenever cats are, like, wearing nail polish, they're a little bit more hyper feminine.
Okay.
They may try to hit on you or just other stuff in general.
Okay.
So it's like...
That's why...
So you're afraid, I'm not afraid. Even outward expression of femininity does not define sexuality. I mean... Like, there's a lot of straight guys out there.
Those are the men who definitely catcall girls saying, oh, I don't want to get hit on.
People who wear lots of rings, completely straight, and it doesn't matter.
The representation, though, of what that
means.
What
does that mean, though?
So, like, a guy wearing, like, he's obviously counterculture, right? Like, if he's, like, the emo punk kind of guy. Also, like, borderline, like, devil worship at times.
Devil worship?
Yeah, like, nah.
What?
That can be clearly associated with it.
So many people say that, even on YouTube.
Is an indicative of what a masculine man should represent in today's society. We got a lot of over-feminization of a lot of guys. Like, being a solid man that your wife can look to, or whoever that you're taking care of.
All right, so in the span of 10 seconds, let's see. Religion, heteronormativity.
In my life, they got me. And if you're walking around wearing a skirt, bro, like, okay, there might be cats that can walk around wear a skirt and they solid to the people that they can take care of, right? But the exception isn't the rule. Most cats walking around in a skirt, bro,
that's like some northern
express
shit.
themselves sexually because they've given up on the financial part.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people who express feminine traits,
it's easier to be
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people who express feminine traits, and have been, in the media for wearing skirts. Harry Styles is the biggest example. You think he's not breaded up? You think Young Thug is not breaded up? Like, people like that?
Yeah, but at what cost, though? Like, now you're starting to tap into the fact of, like, nah, like, it's pretty obvious and it's out in the open now.
That shit is, like,
a lot of these
15
rappers,
years
a lot
old.
of these cats grabbing ankles.
Damn.
The same dudes that wear skirts are the same ones that were popping up at the Diddy parties. They holding hands with Diddy, calling him daddy.
I mean, again, this
That's
is
fucking crazy to say, as if like the most hyper masculine sigma male people on planet Earth weren't all regulars at Epstein's Island. That's actually genuinely crazy shit, dude. This is what pisses me off. Fucking conservative rhetoric is just projecting. They be like, oh, feminine men are pedophiles. Oh, fucking, transgender people were at the Diddy parties. Like, no, bro. Sigma males and, like, fucking the most hyper-masculine hotep men you've ever seen in your life are at the Diddy parties. Fucking, like, all these Sigma male alt-right grifters who think that women, like, shouldn't be able to vote or at Epstein's Island. Like, stop projecting.
Nah, facts. I just think it's crazy that he used the phrase grabbing ankles. My thing is just, like, why do you give a fuck if somebody's gay? Like, you're not fucking the nigga. Who cares, bro? Like, that shit blows me. Like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, what do you even say to people at this point?
I get, like, it's a cool piece of clothing. Like, my pops, he owned a fashion label. He did it in the 90s, where he exclusively designed women's clothing out of Egyptian silk. I totally get it. From a fashion perspective, for a woman, like, bro, it's amazing. Like, bro, I think a woman looks good in a maxi skirt. Demon. But I'm saying, I don't think a demon in, like,
I don't care about his sexuality. That nigga is just like, he's a Griffith.
Yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. Like, that does not matter. That should not be part of the conversation. He's like evil.
He's a straight up Griffith ass.
Like, for his sexuality to be like the point of contention is like disrespect to all of the victims.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
No facts. I don't know. Fuck Diddy. I hope that nigga burns.
Fuck Diddy. On that, but we should break down that stigma of people having to be scared of what they choose to wear. No, because if
you're literally scared though.
Coming,
he's making the implication that like a guy's gonna hit on him because he's gay. Who cares?
Or accessories or anything like that. So should people have to fear for self-expression?
So I'll explain to you this, right? Like, I was a shooting specialist at Banana Republic for almost 2 years, right? And like, dude, like, I see a whole bunch of cats walk in there, different arrays, different budgets, you know what I'm saying? And I'm helping them get to where they gotta get.
When he says arrays,
likely, man, like the cats that I saw
about their
skirts,
dicks?
Man, those ain't the kind of guys that, like,
probably just walks of life and budgets, tax
like
brackets.
The cats that I rock with, they're solid through and through. Like, I'm a business
but it would have been
I'm
funnier.
also a professional fighter. So it's like, nah, bro, like, just that kind of energy, it's not conducive for me to be around. Because I need to cultivate a certain kind of mindset, a certain kind of atmosphere around myself in order to achieve what I believe is peak to what I need to be.
Okay, can I like say something real quick?
Yeah.
This guy, what he just talked about with like having like needing people to like cultivate his mindset, this pertains to what that one guy, the second to last like red shirty guy earlier, before the fucking God Bible whatever guy. On like when they were talking in their group huddles, there was this one fucking short-cropped, brown-haired white dude who was talking about how like he can't stand the idea of men wearing skirts because he needs that sense of like community and for like a consolidated, very rigid set of rules for people. Like, I'll have to go back to explicitly remember what he said. I didn't like write it down or anything, but the whole time I was like, damn. What these guys want at the end of the day is like an ethno-state. They want an echo chamber. They just want to be surrounded by people who look, act, and think exactly like them and play by their rules. Because at the end of the day, they just can't stand the idea of other people thinking differently and acting differently. Because they're like, oh, damn, maybe I might actually have to be open-minded. Maybe I might have to realize that other people play by different rules and that a lot of the like things that make up like the white male hegemony, like, toxic masculinity, like the gender to traits that we assign to objects, to clothing, to behaviors, to activities, to jobs, like all of that is made up. It is arbitrary. Like our fucking great-great-granddads made that shit up and we like live in a different world now and they can't handle that. That's why they're called conservatives and traditionalists, because they can't change.
That's literally like my biggest issue with conservatism is not like just that these people are typically like very inherently evil and selfish. I mean, it really is that they're selfish because like
it is
conservatism is based on like
refused,
I want you to live the life that I desire for you.
Yes,
but not just
they have a status quo
else.
That they want to
And
maintain that suits them well and doesn't suit others.
It's like why,
women
bro?
And like minorities in the United States and the first world. and the LGBTQ, like all those groups of people, like there is a status quo in place that befits the white male hegemony and like straight people and fucking Christian people or what have you, and they want to uphold that status quo because like it puts them on a pedestal, it raises them above others, and it makes it more likely that they will succeed in life. That's why conservatives have been using shit like DEI as like a slur nowadays, because it's like it is such a concept that they hate so much. Like the fact that conservatives use diversity, equity, and inclusion as a slur,
as a weapon,
as they hate, should tell you everything you need to know about them.
Also,
they
sucking
want
dudes. I mean,
they want echo chambers.
I mean, it was the same for like black hairstyles, bro. Like we just recently got protections on like braids and dreads, bro. Like that shit is crazy to me. Like, oh, you're too black. Your hair is too black. You can't work here. Like, man,
it's like Sam Jackson said at the Super Bowl: too reckless, too ghetto.
Or that you want him to agree on.
And again, those are like
to agree on that
arbitrary
men should be able
terms
to
that
express
like
themselves,
a white
and
man
in
can
fact,
throw at
anybody
you, no
should
matter
be able to
like
express
no matter
themselves
what you're
however
like,
they want,
what you do,
skirt, nail polish, whatever.
True.
What your behavior is, what your money is.
That's why black conservatives
should
baffle
be
me the
able
most.
To wear a skirt, and
It's like, bro, you don't even
have a
exhibit the
positive stigma
phenotype.
around it
Like, what are you
if
talking
they
about?
So decide.
If culturally they come from a culture in Muslim tradition, right? There's this wrap that you can wrap
I'm not even
around
talking
your
about that.
waist. Some people would call that a skirt. So like that kind of
Also,
cultural
yes,
thing, no problem. But we're talking about North
woke is the
American
funniest
problems. We're
because
not
it's like,
talking about
please,
every other
just
place.
ask somebody to describe
what's
woke
the
for you
middle
and
ground
watch
that
them
you think?
flounder.
The middle ground
Riley.
is culturally, if that's where
They
your
want- yeah,
family
they-
is
they
from,
just wanna
rep
say the
where
end,
your
that's
family
literally
is.
it.
Can we pause this?
Rep your
Hold on.
culture.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with this is North America. North America is a freaking what do
Melting
you call
pot?
it? Melting pot of multiple different cultures. You
Yeah.
can't just say that one dress code is all we need.
Oh
'Cause if
God,
that's the
thank
case-
you. Thank you. Literally,
that's
the whole
the case-
point of the United States is that it is meant to be like a cultural, like heterogeneous mixture of all kinds. Like we have like Little Italy, we have Chinatown, like we have all kinds of fucking cultures coming in here and like laying their roots and preserving themselves, and that's what it was all about. Our fucking like biggest icon, like the Statue of Liberty, like says, give me your poor, give me your like all that stuff. But no, fucking conservatives who like are like built on the generations of like English slave owners who live here are like, nope, our culture must be homogenous. Our culture must be exactly like me. Like literally, all of American history is founded in immigration. Like
everything,
like and if
everything,
the entire.
And all of a sudden, we're trying to act like we like can no longer have that when like we are all immigrants or the descendants of immigrants or colonizers. But that's a different story.
Literally, my mom is first generation American. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
And
like,
if the whole point was to mix to one dress code, he shouldn't have braids or dress.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you don't even exhibit the phenotype that you're vouching for. Like, you the only nigga in here with dyed dreads.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Are we gonna say that dyeing your hair is gay too? Like,
oh yeah, that too. He dyed his hair.
Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, honestly, man. I want to go on this shit so bad
because but not for me. That is conservative rhetoric.
I literally would have just said like, bro, you have dyed dreads. Pick your battles. Like this.
Like JD Vance wears eyeliner. Donald Trump drinks a glass of water with two hands. Like
two hands.
Rules for thee, but not for me. On God, literally, he's got a spray
That's
tan.
a thing. What do you mean drink the water with two hands? That's a
Donald Trump.
Donald
Trump, like on record, like multiple occasions, he's like picked up a glass of like water or whatever, like with his two little hands, like cupped his little fucking hands and his fingies around him, and just like took a little baby sip.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Sucking dudes.
I'm just saying, like. These guys, like I said, JD Vance wears eyeliner, and there's so many people out there who call like men wearing eyeliner and makeup gay, and like fucking like if Trump saw somebody else do that thing where you pick up a glass of water with two little hands and you take like a little baby sip, like they'll equate that to the notion of like a woman picking up a cup of coffee and like drinking it in that like snug little blanket. Like it's like I said, it's these really arbitrary, made up, like abstract engendered forms of like behavior that people just constantly assign masculinity and femininity to, but not when it comes to them.
Yeah, by the way, sucking dudes, I understand that shit. Some of my black friends or my brothers, my younger siblings or older siblings would be like, I act too much of a certain way and call me white because I don't act completely black or something like that. I'm like, why do I have to act a certain way? Do you want me to act ghetto or say something a certain way? It's a little
I'm not gonna
aggravating.
lie. I hate that. Like, what the fuck is acting black, nigga? Shut up.
Everyone has their own personality. They shouldn't have to fucking cohere to a certain racial stereotype.
Again, just arbitrarily assigning traits to actions, behaviors. Like, okay, obviously I'm not talking about like, you know, anything that is intrinsically like tied into cultures, because like a lot of cultures have like articles of clothing and traditions and behaviors and things and stuff like that are inherent to their culture. But like, I know what you mean when like, especially in the United States, there are so many things that, regardless of whether or not they're actually rooted in a particular culture, we just call them gay, we call them girly, we call them black.
Yeah, you used to get called white for liking anime or games. They only recently stopped calling you white for liking games and anime because it became more mainstream.
True.
So everyone does it.
Shout
so
out RDC.
Like, oh, yeah.
Also, that's super funny. I never hear anyone say you're acting Asian. Nah, I mean, like,
lie. That is a hard lie. There are so many like
nah,
back in the early
like,
2000s when I was a
what
kid,
is
there were so
acting
many
Asian?
initially Asian stereotypes. Like I remember, like in the early 2000s, if you were good at math, people would call you Asian because like that was a big stereotype. Because like overseas they work hard in school and shit.
You did grow up in Alabama, so that might
Oh
be
yeah,
an Alabama
exactly. So I've been around like I haven't been around crazy like Jim Crow
and freaking Naruto. Only ones you can watch without being judged.
Yeah. No, because for a while, like, dude, it's actually insane. Like, okay, homophobia is still very rampant now, but it's actually insane how many things were called and considered like gay and dumb. Like, if you watch anything remotely like because Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, like, they beat the shit out of each other and there's blood and therefore that's manly. But God forbid, as like a preteen male, you're caught watching like Black Butler or some shit.
Or Evangelion. Like,
Hey, look, me trying to vouch to everyone to watch JoJo's and then niggas see cores.
No,
what can I say? What can I say?
JoJo is so good. I got so many
JoJo is peak.
friends of that.
I will die on the hill that JoJo is one of the most manly like anime manga series ever. Because yes, those men are flamboyant, but they're
manly as hell, to be honest. But like,
yeah,
no,
they're flamboyant, but they're manly.
My boyfriend will call things gay for no reason. I'm like, "What? You're gay too?" And he's like, "Yeah, but you don't have to call me out." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Honestly, I feel like gay people wield like a fucking.
Interesting that you say gay people are not homosexuals.
Yeah, you goddamn homosexuals. No, I feel like gay people wield like a fucking flaming sword, and I'm like, let that shit rip, baby. Like every time, I'm like, say it, say it, say it. Take your power back. Like, like
I think a lot of gay people are just like homophobic to like their friends and themselves. So
nah,
it's contingent because like I feel like my fault. Go ahead.
Flaming sword, but like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like the legendary weapon. Like, bro, I don't know if Aaron, you've experienced this.
What?
But just like actual like racism, and then you respond with like, okay, white. N-word or like, yo,
I just don't,
that shit is so powerful because it's like, now what? Like, I feel like anytime I give like the racism, like that same energy, I feel like the beginning, like that opening scene in Death Note where like Light and L are like standing on top of the buildings and they're just aura farming. That's how I feel it.
You feel like fucking Static Shock and fucking Batman.
Yeah, bro. I'm just like, yeah. Fuck yeah! Now
Also,
what? Hold that.
on another note, why is every like black superhero getting like electric powers?
Because electricity is the
pretty-
best. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I
Wait,
admit that shit is awesome.
Jordan, I was thinking about this today because the boss for the Enoch one shot is, well, he has lightning abilities. And I was like, bro, why is every badass character I make just a lightning wielder? Like every
It's
single
because
one.
it's very common for like I think as far as elemental powers, as far as tropes go, I think it's very common for both the lightning and the ice characters to just be aura farmers. Because the lightning characters are like speedsters, or they're meant to like perception or speed blitz people. But like the whole point of lightning is that it's like unpredictable. It's fast. It's strong. Lightning is powerful.
Deadly.
Yeah.
And then of course there's ice, and like they play on the whole like being a cool thing, or like muted, demure, relaxed. Like ice and lightning powers are just for aura farmers.
So
And then of course because of like the
fire's
raging
up there
fire,
too, but,
fire's like for hotheads, which is a whole different type of aura farming. It's like for the guys who are fucking itching for a scrap,
No, have you met the?
Oh God, Axel got it memorized.
Have you met the fire chick from Black Clover? God damn.
I don't read Black Clover. Are you talking about
Storm is gas?
I was just about to say I didn't read
He
it, but I
is
think I know who you're talking about.
Goddamn, holy shit.
But yeah.
If you want to see good fights in Black Clover, watch hers.
Okay.
Oh my
Look,
god.
I mean, I'm not exactly a clip watcher, I'll say.
Yeah, it's okay.
I am.
Shit. Fuck, Black Clover fights are pretty cool. I mean,
I'm sure they are.
I am.
I just haven't read or watched it yet.
I don't know. I'm ready for the next Avatar though, because like Earthbending, I'm not gonna lie. Earthbender's got it, bro.
Dude, Earthbender is saucy. Like people be underestimating it just because it's not like fire.
Who's
with,
underestimating
like, the lightning stuff.
I think Earthbending is the best bending in the whole series.
I agree.
underestimate Earthbenders? They are the most deadly types besides water.
No, I agree.
think they're stronger than water.
Well, it depends on what time of day. And if they know bloodbending, which has been like, outlawed.
Is the Airbender show any good? You mean like the animated one, or?
I think they're talking about the new live action adaptation on Netflix.
I'm not watching that shit. I am an
I've heard it's
Avatar stan.
okay.
Okay, wait, but see, I'm a Korra stan.
On God.
I've heard the show's okay, but I mean
The villains are 50-50. I think Korra is cool and a very overhated character just because
Korra has some of the most political.
You only saw the
villains.
movie, the M. Night Shyamalan movie? I'm sorry. Yo,
I'm
dog.
so sorry.
You're
Crazy.
cooked. Like I literally,
crazy.
I think that was one of the few movies I've ever walked out of in my life.
That's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
You
can't even compare that to the animated series. I consider them very different.
You got to walk out of that? I had to fucking. My
You're
mom
being held
rented it
hostage?
from,
Nah,
the Red
bro.
Box.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That movie is just as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution. That movie is a straight up 2 out of 10.
It is
like
it is far worse than Dragon Ball Evolution.
I don't know.
They
Dragon
write
Ball
out
Evolution
a lot of
is...
important parts of the story.
At least
you're
the fight,
tweaking, you're
at
tweaking,
least
you're
the
tweaking.
fights in Dragon Ball Evolution were faster than bending in Avatar. Because the bending in Avatar was so incredibly slow, it was hard to watch.
No, the bending in Avatar is horrible. I love Korra. I think Korra is a great character. I think if you take the romance out of Korra, unironically, that show, like, it would lose half the hate overnight.
I love Korra, honestly. They have a lot of interesting villains. Their villains are very idealistic.
Oh,
and I
bro,
like
their
that.
villains like clearing for sure.
Yeah, but the show's pacing was just, they try to stretch it and also speed it up at the same time, which is really, because like Korra has like what, 4 seasons?
Yes.
Yeah,
But okay,
they
we
have
need to lock in. We need to lock in.
Yeah, you're so right. We're talking about the last Airbender now. Let's
You
get
as a
it
man,
going.
If that's something that you want to do, bro, by all means, bro. Just not that close to me,
He
though.
literally went
It's
to like
good.
3 different
Wait,
conversations.
see, that's what I'm saying. Just not that
think
close.
I
Bro,
hate
you
men
showed up
should
to a
be able to
debate.
express themselves however they want, and that's it. I don't think there should be any, especially.
I don't
what
like.
what I'm hearing.
I don't
is,
mind
even
that.
if you
I just don't like
agree
it
that
near
should
me.
be-
Like,
that you
okay,
think
bro.
socially
What a
I swear,
fucking
it's always
narcissist.
the
I have
dudes
heard
who
you
are
say that
like,
men should
oh
be
man,
allowed
why
to
are they
wear
always
skirts.
shoving
That's
this
how they
stuff
want it.
down our
That's what they
throats?
want.
Who are the type of people to
If
see a
that's what
like a
God
man
wants
wearing
you
a
to do,
skirt
by
across
all
the
means.
street
But
and
I'm
approach
saying
him
from
to
a
confront
cultural,
him about it?
religious perspective, it's
Like
not
you could have just
conducive
kept it pushing
to
and
what
let that man walk by, but you didn't.
a good nation trying to bring stronger individuals into the world
Ugh.
should be doing.
See, there's a background to this. It's not because you just don't like.
That was
Hey,
actually an extremely loaded statement because bro's like
Come back
talking about
whenever,
stronger
fucking
individuals
so
being
less
more
of-
masculine
less
individuals,
masculine, that
equating
in turn
femininity
makes
to
them
weakness.
weaker for wearing a skirt.
In North
Yeah,
America,
Exactly.
I do not believe that it's
Like, I'll put
acceptable
on
for
a
man to
skirt and
wear
kill
skirts.
you with
I
my
like
bare
that.
hands.
I'm
Shut up.
I like to propose that it's okay for a man to wear whatever he chooses.
If that's what you believe, I respect you enough to agree with you on that part. But me personally, like you as an individual, if you want to do that, by all means, bro. But nah, not for North American culture. It means something different here.
So is that you saying that that doesn't work as a middle
Yeah,
ground
and you
statement?
single-handedly
We're
decide
not
that
gonna
for
find
all
out.
North Americans. Yeah, totally.
I think we can leave it at that. We gave it a good try. Shake hands and let's start.
I still
Bro,
respect
it's like
you, though,
I'm a
bro.
homophobe.
None of
I'm
your
scared because I want to kiss dudes, and it's like, bro, just kiss a dude. Who cares?
We did not find a middle ground in that last prompt, but thank you to Juma and Riley for giving it a try. We're going to move on to our next prompt, which is, does society need more trad wives or girl bosses?
Who can define these terms?
What is this? What are these gross ass prompts, dude?
Yeah, this
They're
is
honestly-
just.
this
I
is
hate
just
this
the
one because
rage
it's clearly
baiting.
it's just meant to be. Yeah, it's rage baiting. It's meant to be polarizing. Like literally, like I know for a fact that maybe the blue shirts, but definitely the red shirts are going to go into this conversation thinking that like this is a black and white, like only a cis deals an absolute scenario where there has to be like trad wives or girl bosses, only one of the two. There
Wait.
is no middle. What?
Because the next topics are actually really good. Are depressed men weak? Should men spend their time watching porn? Should men be the romantic leader in relationships? Or the leader in
Okay, some
romantic
people
relationships?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
misandry more allowed than misogyny? And then the last one. Is Elon Musk a good masculine role
See, that-
model?
that's-
So you know what the crazy part is?
That second
For
to last
every
one's a really
single
good
one of
question.
those questions, no is my answer. Every
Yeah,
single
but-
one.
That second
I
to
mean-
last question is such a good thing for both of them to talk about.
Yeah,
Misandry
because now we're
is
gonna
more
have to
allowed.
sit here and listen to Elon Musk fans, if there are any here, explain why they think he's a masculine role model, and
No,
it
no,
is
no,
going
no,
to
no, no.
it's going to
No,
amount.
I'm talking about the
if
second
the
to last one, not the
misandry-
last one.
Yeah,
Oh, my
I,
fault.
I
Second
think
to last one.
misandry isn't more so, because misogyny
Exactly,
is
it's
like
not.
baked into
No,
our
it's
culture.
not. But it's a lot.
misogyny is
it's a-
baked into our culture, and misandry, like, bro, I can be misogynistic and get away with that shit. But if I'm a woman and I'm misandric to the wrong person, they're killing me. Like
No,
I'm
facts.
getting beaten to
Hold on,
death
hold on, hold
by
on,
an
hold on.
angry, crazy man.
No,
Right,
literally
hold on,
facts.
hold on. I'm talking about how misandry, people can joke about that more than misogyny, depending on certain types of groups. Like you said, some men are just fucking batshit insane. But people don't look as down upon that as misogyny nowadays.
I mean, I think it's the whole thing with like racism versus non-white people versus racism towards white people, to where like
Yes, that is the same
racism towards
exact
white
situation.
people is inherently like oftentimes like joked
Based.
about more. Based, yes, but also joked about more because like
You just proved this point.
when people try to quote unquote joke and make racist jokes towards non-white people, that is just a product of the white hegemony we live in. Like that kind of racism, that rhetoric upon which those people are making those racist jokes is stuff that is rooted in the first world and like a lot of the subtle
Literally.
ideologies that we have been brainwashed by.
You literally just answered that same question in a different way.
Yeah, I'm
As
just
if you
equating
answered
it.
the misandry and misogyny thing.
No,
in the
I'm yeah.
white
That was
versus
the
white thing.
point.
Yeah, that is a good question to ask both these groups. That is it. I
Yeah.
think
That's
will
what I
be
was
great.
saying earlier. It's like white people are a monolith, bro. But Let's see them cook.
Like slaves the house. She's independent.
We're gonna
bro.
cut
She's
through
like,
this bullshit though.
She's her own boss.
Yeah, I don't.
okay.
Some things are gonna be. You know
So
what?
Like,
they're
this
gonna
is
have
just-
both sides.
that's
chosen a
just
speaker
fair.
to debate this prompt.
You know
Let's
what they're
bring
gonna say on
over
both
Anthony.
sides. I want the more interesting questions.
All right.
Wait, I forgot what the question is.
It's on the
Oh,
top left.
trad
Does
wives
society need
versus
more
girl
trad wives or
bosses,
girl
yeah.
bosses?
Greg, Anthony, the question was, does society need more trad wives or girl bosses? I'll let you take it from here.
I feel like it's whatever someone decides.
I feel like neither.
Yeah, I feel like just
I
whatever
feel-
someone
I-
wants to
I-
do.
Okay.
I feel like women should be able to do what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
in my
Yes.
You be a
opinion.
trad wife you want. You be a girl boss you want. Whatever the
Yes,
fuck
but
you
I
want.
feel like they're two sides of the same coin. Like, what if we just let women be normal?
That's what I'm saying.
What about
Let
that?
Women be whatever they want.
That's the thing I said earlier. Like the whole point behind this like polarizing ass phrasing is this entire argument in a room full of men is going to be entirely built upon these guys' perception of what they think a trad wife and a girl boss is without asking a fucking woman.
True.
That is true.
True.
Like and clearly both guys in these chairs are gonna have very different ideas of what a trad wife and what a girl boss is. Maybe like more similar ideas for a trad wife because like we have a lot of evidence for that.
I think the girl boss thing is more of like the woman in the workplace being like the boss or some shit.
I'm really just shook
Yeah, like,
looking at this
okay,
guy
here's
in
the
the
thing.
back, bro. Cause like, what's up with that fit, dog? Like,
He's just standing
I
up.
mean,
Okay, hear me out. I think for
fine.
girl bosses, the guy on the right in the blue shirt is going to say girl bosses are like women in STEM and like self-employed women and shit like that.
Right.
And the guy on the left is going to think that it's like the current existing male hegemony, but just like as girls, where like it's some hyper-inflated, hyperbolic scenario where like women take over the workforce and like guys are getting pay cuts and stuff.
I think what the guy on the left's going to say is like e-girls for girl boss or something.
oh,
I think that's what he's going to say.
You think he's young enough to know about that?
I think he's young enough to know what porn is.
I mean,
Okay, I mean that's a little different.
porn is
That's
real.
what I'm. That's what
Everyone knows what porn is. Fucking World War II veterans were jorking it to Betty Boop. Let's be honest with ourselves.
True,
Everybody
true.
knows what porn is.
Betty Boop, fuck yeah, that goes hard.
Betty Boo,
Honestly,
I love Betty Boo.
just imagine being in the trenches, like bombs going off, but you're trying to like lull yourself to sleep, so you're just busting a nut to some Betty Boop comics.
Damn.
You're just tugging. You're just down there tugging on that bitch with
The picture of the guy in the bed.
no lotion, nothing, bro. Just
Forrest, lock
straight
in.
Jorking.
Lock in.
That society needs more trad wives. Putting women in the workplace is actually a failed feminist movement, which minimized wages for men, and then it gave the government free control over the children, right, through a public education
the
system.
fuck
and
is this
it-
guy
it's
talking about?
Why we have
What the
a lack
fuck?
of masculinity.
Okay, no,
in
pause.
society.
We gotta stop pausing.
So you're telling me that women in the workforce have led to the government controlling kids through public schools, which they were attending anyway, and two,
I love the blaming of low
men being paid less. This is the shit that pisses me off. Like men act like they are like, okay, so white men, like the people at the top of the hegemony in the first world, act like they are losing anything when the wealth is ever so slightly dispersed, like amongst women, minorities, the LGBTQ. Like all of the richest people in the world are like white men or just men. Like
what are they
probably
saying for,
most,
like-
if not all of
I'm
them.
just
What are they
crying
saying
because,
for, like single mothers? What do you do then? They have to work.
bro,
Yeah. Also, like,
bro has a
Sorry.
goldfish in his brain, and that bitch is just like looking for food.
it took 10 seconds for this guy to like drop a conspiracy theory about how public school is government brainwashing. Like 10 seconds into a Tradweb conversation. That's how you know what type of man this is.
This dude's brain is just like
It's not there. Like you said, the goldfish is hungry. If a mind flayer put a tadpole in this guy's head, it would die of starvation.
Even the fact check is like proving this guy wrong.
Yes.
I'm just thinking like, I know this nigga is like talking, but I just imagine his brain is like a car engine with no oil, and it's just heated up and like
It's
burning.
like the fucking Looney Tunes when a vehicle like dies and Looney like
The fish in his brain is the same one that completed Pokemon Emerald in like a year.
Man. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Sorry,
so
I
there's
just
three
had to
claims
pause there and
There
deconstruct
was,
that 10 seconds of
the government controlling the children.
That's not what
Thank
and
you.
then,
Oh my God.
The wages
I really
being
should have just let it
stolen
keep
from
going.
men.
I didn't say it was stolen.
Oh, sorry. How did you phrase it?
No,
You
said it was, like,
literally did
minimizing
say
wages
that.
for
What do you mean?
Minimize it.
Did
Okay,
he
yeah, sorry.
gaslighting
Causing
him?
an impact on men. And then what was the first
Minimizing wages for men as if like men aren't still like
Moving women,
all the
yeah,
richest
so,
people in the world aren't
There
men.
is no statistically significant difference between the cognitive abilities of men and women. You can obviously find an outlier study or two that says something else.
Sure.
And so
That's not what we're debating, though.
Well, no, but it's to. I'm building to my point.
Okay.
Yeah. So in that
He had to
context,
explain to him how to
I
have
think
a
we should have.
He had to explain to him how to have a conversation. That's fire.
Did not interrupt him at all.
That
Then starts
empowers men
interrupting
and
other
women
guys.
equally to pursue whatever works
love
best for them and in their relationship. Like for example, we have friends who are married.
All of this dude's stats went to his mustache. Like his mustache is thriving on the nutrients needed for his brain to
Man and
function.
woman.
Also, I'm
and
loving
they
this
are
guy's
both
scar.
in
I
healthcare.
love the Gru scar.
And they both take
the
turns
Gru scar.
working.
Gru scar.
He do be
I'm
looking
the
a
one
little
before
felonious.
Gru. I'm a Gru.
Crying. I was thinking fucking Harry Potter, but Gru is hilarious.
Dad works.
Wait.
Nah, Gru is actually very on point. No, it is. It's 1-to-1. That's what I was saying.
I was right. I was right.
It is 1-to-1. Like, bro was on point about that. It is.
Good.
That is it. Yes,
I'm not gonna be mad.
1-to-1.
I love the scar. I love the Gru scar. It's honestly good.
Like it kind of fits him, you know.
One day
He looks a little
day.
felonious.
And I think it's awesome if they have career opportunities. We have things like affordable childcare, paid family leave, anything in society
Childcare
that
is not
supports people
affordable.
to make the
He's saying
decisions
that it would